see if the old girl goes. Yes, and I've still got my slippers on. So I'm planning on getting this off and then going for lunch. As you can see, this track is a bit hiddly-piggly, but it's still a track, right? So the reason why it was so easy to pull apart was because this here has been taken apart before, and it's been a homemade pin made up. These tracks are worn, but it's sort of can't seem to justify buying any new ones at the moment, which would be a good option, but it does mean that this pin is slack in here. But the theory is that if I had to, I could theoretically weld that pin in there, because that's what someone else had done. But I cut it out a while ago when I had problems. This is the main problem. That's what we're looking into or fixing. So 2 seconds and I'll get set up for that. So this is the tensioner. It tensions everything up. Bearings are all good in there. But what we're going to probably do is end up taking all this apart. I think, I don't know. So this has been welded on here too. So I'm guessing she had signs of being worn for a while. But this is our main problem. Is that she likes all her lube out. And we don't want that. Now I don't know if these are sealed or even if you can poke these things apart. I'm going by the looks of it that maybe I can't. Well, should be able to. And I think we'll take that off there, take this off separate, give it a good clean up and see what we can come up with. But I don't really do much on the digger side of things, so it's always the size you never grab. Brake parts cleaner. Well, not very tight at all. I suppose they don't really have to be, do they? ever simple. So, this digger is a Chipperton digger, where parts are, well, no. Looks like we're going to have to try and find it. Everything's a hammer unless it's a screwdriver, and then it's a punch. Alright. Don't know if you watch D-Boss Garage. I think it was that where I heard him say it. Now we're left with the item that's causing the problem. I'll try and get as much of that grease off as possible. It's still in reasonably good nick, to be fair. I would like to re-shimmer up and cover up grease again. Right. This is where the grease nipple's in. I probably should have cracked this while it was on the machine, to be fair. But why would I want to do that? I can sit here struggling. So, idea of this is you put grease in this bit I'm taking out, which plunges a piston in, which looks like a complete brass piston, to be fair. Which I thought it would be chrome, but it's not, it's brass, which really is now confusing. Because put these back in so I don't lose them. I might have to see if I can find another one or grind that one down so it's a small size. These don't really have to do too much apart from just stop them going up and down, because the weight of this pushing against it is sort of pushing on this with the track pulling on it, so they're not, the bolts are not really taking up that much strength. But there's all the grease out anyway. Now, the $1 question is, that is literally just a brass piston. Oh, you look at that, eh? Who would have ever knew that's all that was? I'm going to take it that not all machines are like that. And in here, there is an O-ring. A very pitted and chunked out O-ring. Like it's got chunks missing. So we just got to find an O-ring and we're laughing. Well, that is a really simple but effective design, if I do say so myself. Feel loved. Because Just makes sense to, really, doesn't it? Oh, wait for that little O-ring, isn't it? Right, I reckon find a container to put that in. Don't think our brush is going to get used because it's as rock as a dock. So basically how this works is you have an O-ring sit inside a groove in here, and then you have this piston, this brass piston, which sits in here, and that sits there and keeps everything snug. The problem we have, oh, and then you got obviously this that tops it up. The problem we have is this O-ring, as you can see, I don't know how clear it's coming up, but it has chunks missing out of it. So I'm thinking, oh Jesus, 2 seconds. Two secs while I de-jam this. So now the $1 million question is, do I have an O-ring that'll fit in there? That is the right size. And I get the feeling the answer to one's questions is probably going to be no. But we'll see. Oh. So no, we don't. So I'm going to have to try and get an O-ring that size, and I don't have a clue what I'm getting the O-ring out of. But the next thing we need to work out is why that has got a lot of play in there. So we might clean all that out, sort all that out, and then see if we can do that. We're also going to take the idlers out, drop the idler wheels out, and sort them out. This one here I'm not worried about because I've fixed that already, so it can stay there. So what I did to that one is it had a wear wall patch in it like the other one, and actually I've got the piece of pipe over here, and I found a piece of pipe that neatly fits over them. So all I did is I literally just cut the pipe, slipped the pipe over, and Bob's your uncle. It does mean though that this theoretically is a little bit bigger than it should be, but by about, I don't know, that thickness. So yeah, progress is progress. Progress is slow, but progress is progress. So what we'll do is we'll dig off the rest of that track. This track here, I would like to take a link out of it, because I feel that the reason why those seals are getting a hard time is that this has to be pressed near to its full maximum sort of thing. Now, going by what I've just seen in there, I'm wondering if it wouldn't be easier for me to put a plate in here, because a track link is too much. So I'm wondering about maybe making a plate up to go in there, because it hits a big spring thing in there. I don't even know if that moves, to be fair. I guess it does. Yeah. And then I'm thinking about getting a welder, and instead of welding plates like on there, get some plates to weld in there. I know it's not ideal, but you know, it doesn't move a lot. Is it really? So, and then once we get that side off, spin the digger around. This track has to come off as a complete track if I don't have to take a link out of it. So it does mean that this one I'd have to weld that pin in, which sort of sucks, but is what it is. But yeah, one step closer. So time to go and get some lunch now, and the next thing will be what we decide to do with this. I'm seriously thinking about making shims to go up, so get some plates cut out to the size of that square so we can put shims in here, and then bring the roller out that, oh no wait, because that would bring that out further, and then it might not catch on there right. So no, I think I'll have to take a link out. So somehow I've got to work out how I'm cutting one of these pins out, because I can't seem to knock them out. So I tried. I think it was on that one actually, I tried. And it was either down that end, one of the two. I'm sure it was that one. And I can't do it without press really. So, but now I've got it in the garage, I can tinker with it a bit more. And we'll go from there. But I think the next job will be take the rover out, go and fire the dumper up, see if we can get that running, and then bring the dumper in. And then at least I've got everything in here if I get stomped by this, because at the moment there's no point in me doing all the tracks if I can't find an O-ring. But I'm thinking about getting two, because while I've got this side apart, I might just take that side apart and clean up her O-ring. But you see her thing's right at the end there, and it was on the other one too, and that doesn't seem to come off. Just never seems to fall off that track. So it's a strange one. But oh well. We'll work it out. We always do. But anyway, time for some grub. You see the sheep out there grazing.